Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for another review. This is actually going to be for an album review this time for Niall Horan's new album, The Show, that he just got done listening to for his third studio album. I listened to Heartbreak Weather like a few years ago, but yeah, still thought that was a pretty good album for what it went for. So I'm gonna discuss what I listened to for his third studio album, The Show by Niall Horan, and let you know my thoughts on this new album of his, which is 10 songs and like a runtime of 30 and a half minutes. So let's dive into this review. Basically, it starts with the first single that did come out when this album was announced for the show. So this first song, it is the opening track to this album, which is called Heaven. And that is one of my favorite songs. I really like the melody. I like the drum work in it. Niall Horan's vocals sound really good, and this song just blew me away with how fantastic it was, in my personal opinion. So 5 out of 5 for this one. I really enjoyed this track. I was really feeling for this song for what it went for. If You Leave Me was pretty nice of a track. Another one of my favorites from this album. There's quite a bit of favorites that I really liked on this album. So this is probably a much better album than the last album. The last album was pretty good, but this might be um, really good. So I will let you know what I'm going to rate it towards the end of the video. So pretty much If You Leave Me is getting a 5 out of 5. I like how Niall Horan's singing the track, and the song really did good with the melody. Meltdown was pretty nice of a track. It's more pop friendly of a track, but it works with what it's going for. And Niall Horan's singing is really good in my personal opinion. So 5 out of 5. Never Grow Up does have some mellow tendencies with how the melody's sounding, but I think it works with what it's going for with the execution. And this track really was good with Niall Horan's vocals. So 5 out of 5. The Show was a really mellow track from time to time. There's some nice drum work, slow drum work, um, but it still works with the execution. So 5 out of 5. You Could Start a Cult was more of an acoustic track, but I really like it with what it's going for. Niall Horan's vocals really do very splendid in my personal opinion with this track. So 5 out of 5. Save My Life did have some drum work, and there were some moments with his falsetto that I wasn't sure if I was on board with at first, but I had to re-listen to the chorus the second time on chorus 2, and I was a little impressed with it. So 5 out of 5. On a Night Like Tonight was actually really good in my opinion. There were some moments where Niall Horan's vocals didn't really connect with the melody because he went a little too fast with how he was singing it, but I still think the track worked for what it was going for, mixing wise and production. So, and Niall Horan's vocals was pretty good in my opinion, so 5 out of 5. Science is the second to last song on this album, and I really enjoyed this track, even though it's really short. It's not very long. There's nice piano work. Niall Horan's vocals is really amazing in my opinion, and for 2 minutes and 45 seconds, you're in for an interesting track, so 5 out of 5. Then comes the closing track, Must Be Love. I think this one's solid, but it didn't really make it to being the best song, in my personal opinion, for this closing track to close the album. But I still think it worked in its own way. So it was a good track in its own way, but the love with how he was singing it and the background vocals didn't really connect with me in my opinion. So 4.5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think Niall Horan's The Show for his third studio album for this album review, I was really impressed with this album. This is one of my favorite albums this year, in my personal opinion. Great third studio album from him, and I just like majority of the songs on this album, so, except for the last song. In my personal opinion, I couldn't feel for it, but other than that, For an overall score for me, I'm giving Niall Horan's new album, The Show, a 9.5 out of 10. A really good album. Highly recommend you check this album out for this Friday's music. I know it comes out at midnight tonight, so definitely give this album a listen. It's not very long of an album. You're in for 30 minutes and 40 seconds of this album, so you're not in for a long album, but still, it worked for what it was going for the runtime it went for. And execution wise, it was pretty good. So, 9.5 out of 10 for Niall Horan's The Show album. Thank you guys for watching.